Hello guys, welcome to my video on what separates the rich and the poor. In the last 3 decades, the gap between the rich and the poor in the world has widened and is continuing to widen. It's not your fault if you were born poor, but it's your fault if you die poor, as Bill Gates once said. Too many people believe that the richest people acquire their wealth through connections, good fortune, or inheritance. But is that position a correct one? Let's examine the exact factors separating the rich from the poor. The rich sell value and the poor sell their time. Poor people believe that time is less important than money. Because they believe that money is more scarce than time, poor people prefer to waste more time than money. Rich people typically sell value rather than their time. They spend their time developing ventures, goods, and investments. They don't sell their time directly, instead, they spend their time creating goods to sell to others. By producing assets, they make the most of their time, knowledge, experience, and energy. Rich people typically operate with an abundance mindset. They believe that time and money are both finite resources. They also value time more highly than money. They therefore put in a lot of effort to earn more money so they can improve their lives as quickly as possible. Before they can distinguish between their time and their means of income, people will never be wealthy. If you can't invest your earnings from selling your time for cash in businesses, investments, or other cash-generating assets, doing so can keep you in poverty. You must separate how you make money from how you spend your limited time. Many people compromise their time for money, which prevents them from reaching their full potential. Risk tolerance. The likelihood that an investor will become wealthy is strongly correlated with his or her risk tolerance. To earn a sizable sum of money, there must be some level of risk tolerance. Poor people rely entirely on chance. If they invest, they entrust financial advisors to handle all of the details. Accept risk, try your luck, and don't let your fear of failing stop you from investing. Rich people are shrewd planners and goal setters. They don't just rely on chance in anything. Instead of just leaving everything to financial experts, they take charge of their lives and get involved in everything they invest their money in. Rich people don't base their wealth on chance or luck. Through taking on more risk, they generate their own luck. You can achieve compounding wealth if you accept risk up to a certain point. The rich work for themselves. Dreams are killed by comfort. The poor would rather have a consistent paycheck and daily instructions from someone else. They dislike the ambiguity of not knowing when or from where they will receive their next paycheck, preferring security over risk. Even when they first start out with a job, the wealthy never forget that they work for themselves. They watch out for being exploited by an employer and only accept just compensation for their time and effort. The wealthy place more emphasis on the skills they can pick up at work and the experience they gain in addition to the salary. Their main objective is to work for themselves by founding their own company, becoming investors, or working for themselves. People have a lot more energy when they succeed thanks to their own initiatives and efforts. Rich people are willing to take financial risks to work for themselves. They realize that if they spend their days working to boost someone else's financial situation, it will be challenging for them to improve their own situation. The rich have multiple income streams, while the poor have only one. The wealthy diversify their assets and have multiple sources of income. The wealthy frequently reinvest their profits and keep adding new assets to their investment portfolios. The majority of the time, the poor are consumers. In this world, there are 2 different kinds of people, suppliers and consumers. The poor have a focus on consumption. Instead of investing or saving now and consuming later, they prefer to consume now. School versus education. When I was a child, I recall hearing the following advice: go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a high-paying job in a large corporation, get a pension book, work yourself off for the rest of your life, and retire when you are old. Unfortunately, despite the fact that the status quo has changed, students are still told to work hard in school in order to work for someone else's benefit for the rest of their lives. This starts a cycle of never-ending poverty. Rich people, on the other hand, are better informed. They allowed you to attend school and achieve good grades so they could hire you for their businesses. A students work for C students in this regard. To strive to be an A student is still a good thing, without taking anything away from those students who already are. If one wants to be wealthy, they should learn about money and investments. The wealthy put money to work for them because they are aware of the law of leverage. While they spend their time managing their investments and assets, they purchase the talents, abilities, and labor of others. The rich network with other rich people, while the poor don't have access. The wealthy are experts at networking with a wide range of successful people, giving them access to resources, connections, and positions of power that the underprivileged simply do not possess. Their connections to other wealthy families are one of the greatest assets that college graduates take with them. The kids of the most well-connected people frequently get the best entry-level jobs and internships. Education is only the first step toward financial success because, frequently, it takes connections to land the best jobs at the most prestigious organizations. The wealthy maintain their competitive edge and network of investors throughout their business careers by figuring out how to raise capital when necessary. The road to financial success is often much more difficult for the poor, because they frequently lack the connections necessary to obtain even lower-tier, less desirable jobs. Hard work versus laziness. The poor get less sleep than the rich, that much is true. Because they lack the willpower to change their circumstances, the majority of the poor are lazy. Let's be honest. People who are lazy detest working and prefer to sleep in and sleep in late. Instead of wasting time searching for the apple, they would prefer to wait for it to fall from the sky. Rich people, on the other hand, don't want to gamble with their lives or the lives of their families, so they work very hard and teach their children to do the same. The majority of wealthy people dislike procrastination and prefer to get up early, so they can start carrying out their plans in order to accomplish their goals quickly. Rich people have big libraries whilst poor people have big television sets. You must research rich people in order to gain a true understanding of how to become wealthy. In the end, you develop into what you study. Simply do the opposite of what those who aren't yet wealthy around you are doing. You'll be able to realize your financial goals in due time. Wealthy people are well educated and avid readers. They make use of their knowledge for their own gain. Instead of getting lost in random activities, they try to understand their own minds in order to better understand others and the environment they live in. In actuality, your house will grow as your personal library does over time. I can vouch for it.